Hi, welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and we have come to the end of my overseas exclusives. Well, they're not really exclusives. You'll all be getting them. But anyway, not going to talk too much. We're on to the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Crimson Viper. Now, I don't think this is going to be a really long video, as I think I've already reviewed, 5 different Vipers. He has the same accessories. It's just his paint scheme. We'll see if he actually matches the Crimson Guard over there. So anyway, here's the artwork. You got some Sky Strikers in the back. Looks like the G.I. Joe headquarters. You get all the accessories that he's coming with. The artwork, which does look really cool. Number 85 in the line. Again, the file card. Technically, there is no file card. And here he is. Again, here's my exclusive sticker. The height of the actual figure, everything that he comes with, and then just a little shots. I don't really know why they do this, to be honest. So anyway, let's just get into this. Do we need to spend a lot of time? But maybe you're new to Classified, and you want to know if this Viper is worth getting. Well, we're going to find out. So anyway, before we do, if you like the content that I've been giving you, if you like all this G.I. Joe Classified stuff, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, hit that like button, so, well, it just helps out. I did it out of order. That's where I got messed up. Let's look at this. Alright, so out we got them. I did not bring up any other Vipers because, again, I've done so many reviews on them, so many videos, you pretty much know what you're going to get. So anyway, here's the box art. Now, if you wanted to keep this figure in here, if you want to do some artwork, cut this out. A lot of people have talked about where they're just going to cut out this right here, leave the figure in there to display it. Great. Again, we went through other work, why don't you just open up the figure? But anyway, artwork, it looks really nice. I do like that idea. As I mentioned before, the G.I. Joe team seemed to actually take some pride in it. Number 85, Crimson Viper, upside down 85 and upside down Cobra logo. I've discussed that numerous times. We're not going to waste any time on that. So he does have his neckerchief like all of them. This one is blue. Obviously, it has some folds in it. It does look pretty good. I don't have an issue with it. It opens up from the outside, so you don't have to worry about popping off the head. You do have the goggles, which on the original Vipers, the Viper Island one, this band would always break. I think they may have used a different plastic. They did start painting the lenses of the goggles. That's a nice little touch. The original ones didn't have it, so looking at this, I think it looks pretty good. The paint's pretty decent. I mean, I don't really see any issues with it. It looks to me like where it might look like there's paint issues there, that's just a shadow. So here we have the gun that I'm just going to say that Bobby B is the president of the Retire This Gun Club. I'm going to claim myself to be the vice president of it. They're not going to, because if you've seen the Crimson set, oops, I dropped it. If you see the Crimson set, you'll know that what they did was they took this mold, they added a little shaft on here so you could put a suppressor on it. So we're going to have this gun probably for a while. I absolutely hate this gun. I don't even hate this gun, I'm just tired of seeing this gun. They could have used any other sidearm with it. It doesn't look bad, but once it's pointed out that you can't put a magazine in here, you can never not see it. If you want to say it's a laser pistol, you can. There are no ports for blast effects. It's a decent enough looking pistol, but I pretty much leave it holstered the whole time. Here's his backpack, and this looks a lot like the Cobra Officer one, just because it's gray. You know, you do have the red that comes across here. You got the white painted smoke. I believe they're smoke bombs or some sort of canisters. Cobra symbol is, you know, painted black. So they gave you some nice paint apps. Even up here on the latch, like, this is what I'm talking about. Just little things like this, these little straps, having some paint apps, really set off the figure and show off so much more. And that's the little things I was kind of talking about when it came to low light and tunnel rat that they just needed to do. Like, I think this backpack looks absolutely awesome. Like, I really do like it. All the straps are painted black. The rope is black. So it just does a lot to set it off. So you got this nice little pouches here. It just shows that you care. And I understand. I don't know how much paint apps cost, but again. So here we have the rifle. It is straight. You saw me kind of bend it. It is softer. They're clearly using a softer durometer than the original ones, but I can live with this if I have to. Now, it's gray, so it's really dull. Now, I understand they're going for an effect, but it would have been nice maybe had they done a different gray. This is so blah and so bland. Now, you do have a magazine that pops out, which is black, or a darker gray at least. At least it looks like it is. Maybe not. And if it's not, I don't know why. Sometimes when you look at stuff, no, I guess it is the same. It's just the shadow of it. I absolutely hate that at times. Like, sometimes the shadow of it just throws everything off. So, but if you want to change the color, we have 100 different 100 different Vipers that you can use. I don't mind this weapon. I know it's not a real-world weapon, but Cobra was always using some sort of advanced tech. It does have a port for the blast effects. So I think something like this might actually work with some of the blast effects they've given. I think they're more like laser blasts. I don't like the way they look. But this gun, all in all, I really do like the way it looks. It's just a different style rifle that I could see Cobra using. So, but you can look at it. It does have, you know, some little holes up here that's going to be for your ventilation. You got your handle up here. I don't like this here. It does cause, I mean, it can cause some issues when you're trying to get the hand around it, but it's not the worst thing. You really don't need a trigger finger for this because there's no trigger guard. All right, so now let's take a look at our Viper. And again, we know what the Viper looks like. I think the Vipers it's an amazing aesthetic. My question is, have they tightened up the legs? So kind of shaking him, the legs seem like they're still loose. And if you haven't been watching my videos, you haven't heard me talking before, one of my biggest gripes has been when they reuse molds, they don't go and fix some issues. I showed you with Desert Snake Eyes. Matter of fact, I was laughing through it. Oops. And all the other Snake Eyes, they have a loose ab crunch, and they kind of have loose legs. These guys all tend to have loose legs, and they loosen up really quickly, which means more than likely they're running down the same assembly line. They're just using different paint apps. So quickly, we'll hit the articulation on them. You get your T-pose, bicep swivels, double elbows. Now, as you can see, these are not pinless. The gauntlets do come off, and the gauntlets are meant to come off. So anyone that argues with you and says the gauntlets aren't meant to come off, so it shouldn't matter if the color of the skin tone is different here than the neck, they are absolutely wrong. It does have an ab crunch. Now, with the early classified figures, like the Alley Vipers, Beachhead, Viper, this Firefly over here, they had a huge issue with the vests, and pretty much you could not do ab crunches. Now, they looked aesthetically nice, but to get a firing pose, this causes issues, just like it does in some other lines. I'm glad they started to change that. You see that with, you know, Dusty here. He doesn't have a secondary. This new Firefly doesn't have a secondary low light. And I can go on and on. But you've watched all the reviews. You know what I'm talking about. So you have the Jean-Claude Van Damme. Drop down hips. You got your thigh swivel, which you've probably already seen me kind of messing around with. Knees have double joints. Again, not pinless. There you go. Again, no issues. Haven't had to heat anything up. You got your boot cut. And then your ankle rockers. And everything seems really smooth. Smooth flowing. Nothing seems soft. So, I'm happy with that. So, let's quickly take a look at this figure. Because I gotta say, just quickly looking at the aesthetics, I do like it. Now, again, I always forget, they do have butterfly joints, but I don't feel the butterfly joints work properly. And they work even less with this gear on it, because you can't really cross over. All right, so the butterfly joints are usually good for holding swords, holding pistols, different things like that. This gets in the way, but even when you don't have this, the butterfly joint doesn't come up enough to really cross over. it works really well pulling the arm back, but I don't really care too much about that. Oh, and I guess I forgot to mention the head. It looks down, it looks up, and it kind of does rock back and forth. Looks like, you know, Michael Jackson doing some dance before he goes looking for a little boy. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Michael Jackson doesn't do that. He's dead. Anyway, okay, so let's see here. Where the hell is my joint at? God, I can't even see it. Trying to get that arm in. All right, so you have this red, which is supposed to be the same crimson red. I think it looks pretty close, but this is clearly a darker red. This is more of a little cherry on top of it. But it's supposed to be the same Pantone. It's not, but I don't think you're really going to notice too much. I don't expect all the blues with Cobra to be the same, but again, this is supposed to be crimson. So looking at the helmet here, I like where they put the black in here. It just accents it. It really pops, and the silver looks really good. I know a lot of people have an issue that, you know, it's not like a vac metal, but that doesn't bother me at all. And you can see there is black painted on the inside here, but I mean, just looking at it, there's no rub or anything. Yeah, a Cobra symbol. And I love where they put the black. I mean, they could have made this just pretty much red, and it would have just blended in, but I think this looks really good. You got this white piece here. All the straps are painted black. The smoke grenades, or grenades, whatever they are, they're painted black. Accents here. Over here, everything looks really nice. Even the straps around the back, and then you have the belt buckle, or not the belt buckle, the belt in general is all black. No apps there, but so what they started to do on the newer figures that you'll see when they do have this is that this is a secondary. This is a secondary, so it doesn't impede the ab crunch, which is exactly how things need to be done. He's got a bunch of pouches, and before anyone wonders, it is black on the inside, and it is black on the outside. This is not an issue that it was done improperly. What it is the original Viper. There was the outside that was, he was blue and red. So red on the outside, and then it was blue on the inside. People didn't seem to understand that or see that, but that's the reason why it is. It's kind of stupid. You would think it should all go right down, like maybe they made an issue with the original ones. But it does have the knee pads, no shin guards, so you don't have to worry about that, but there is only so much articulation that you get here. So I don't really have a problem standing these figures. So the gauntlets here, let's pop them off here. So if you want to pop it off, hands come off, really easy. These gauntlets though, oh, these ones came off super easy. So as you can see, this is the skin tone. The gauntlets are made to come off if you want them to. It matches the neck. On the Cobra 3-pack and the Viper 3-pack, if some of you remember, and there is a video, and you know what, I'll post a link at the end of this video to that one, where I basically went off on Hasbro. You can read through the comments. Some people told me I was wrong. These are meant to come off. It's even in the promo pictures that they come off. So these, it seems to match. Hopefully they all will match. And to be honest, some of them look really cool not having gauntlets. So I don't even know why people were arguing. Again, some people feel they need to, you know, they need to agree. And I know a lot of people say, you know what, hey, you just are a yes man, you agree with everything. Sometimes I'm just in the process of explaining to you how a big corporation works. It doesn't mean if I agree or disagree. I'm just telling you how a corporation runs. But some people hear that as being a shill and whatever. I can't change your mind. Anyone that knows me and listens to my show enough knows how I think. So backpack plugs right in there. Now, I don't always use the neckerchief, but I think the blue is definitely going to, I think it really kind of sets it off. Just kind of pops right there. That looks really good. You have to pry the hand open here. This is why I don't like guns like this with the handle. Kind of have to pull it around like this. Now this one, again, not that bad because there's no trigger guard. When there's a trigger guard, you got to pull the finger out. It is just a total pain. So here we can get that cross over. So he's in a shooting position. I don't really have too much of an issue with this because the stock's not, you know, in the way. But to get him looking like he's shooting right across, not that easy. Where I don't want to use cover girl because she's a female and it's not apples to apples. So Dusty here, using someone else's weapon. If we pop it off here, because he doesn't have that secondary, as you can see, I can get him to pierce straight down that scope if I want. I got to move him a little bit more, but because the secondary is not in the way, where this one is, I'm never going to be able to get these figures to look down a scope or just the rifle. So I'm glad they changed that, but I understand. I still think these figures look absolutely awesome. And then you have the goggles. And I know some people ask, why does he have goggles? He's wearing a mask. Well, that's how the original one came. If people wanted the original, they gave you the original. And people find something to bitch and complain about. So, whew. All right. That's it. That is your Crimson Viper, man. Like, you can see how easily he poses, how easy it is to get his hands in there. Again, he's not a super soft figure. I feel like maybe they started to move away from that, got away from that plant, or changed the durometer, or whatever they were doing. But I'm glad. They seem to be going in the right direction. Even the weapons seem to be going in a better direction, but let's hope they all stay that way and hope they get a little bit more solid, harder durometer. That's what we need. So my first final thoughts on this Crimson Viper is that I really do like it. I like the sub-team of the Crimson figures. I know a lot of people don't like it because they look at the Crimson Guard as being the elite. I just look at it as, I like these Crimson figures, the Crimson Bat, the Crimson Alley Viper, obviously the Crimson Guard, and now we have the Crimson Twins and Baroness coming soon. And again, with this, we're going to continue to see pinned joints because I don't believe we're going to get a new mold of this anytime soon, or possibly ever. Why would you, when you don't have to reuse the mold? You can make money. But again, these are army builders. And if you buy one of every Viper, you're already army building. Well, if you just want to army build this, you can army build this and, you know, avoid the Python Patrol. It's up to you. But anyway, I like the figure. I've liked all the bats. I do have some issues that the legs always seem to be a little loosey-goosey, but there's only so much I can say to that. Alright, so there you have it. That is the review of the Crimson Viper. Again, I do like this figure. It's just really cool. I like having Vipers, Alley Vipers, bats, and different color waves. Call me a sucker. Call me what you want. I just find it fun. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching the video. But you have stuck around this long. If you haven't followed me on the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, A Punk with Toys, I'd appreciate it if you gave me a follow. Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a Punk with Toys. And I know a lot of people don't do Facebook anymore. As my kids tell me, Facebook's for old people. I find that funny. I don't consider myself old yet. Last but not least, you stayed this long. Take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification, so you're notified every time I do drop a G.I. Joe video. And again, there have been a lot. Last but not least, you've been here this whole time. Up here, I'm going to drop that Viper 3-pack that I complained about it, and I said the QC needs to be fixed. And here's the classified playlist. Have a wonderful day.